Good morning, students. In today's class, we are going to study meiotic cell division. From previous class, we already get some idea about the cell division processes. And we also know that our somatic cell goes for the mitotic cell division process and our germ cell requires meiotic cell division process. So now let us discuss about the steps of these processes. So from this introduction slide only, you are able to see that meiotic cell division comprises of two parts. One is the chromosome arrangement 1 and another is the chromosome arrangement 2. So in chromosome arrangement 1, we have four different phases, and in chromosome arrangement 2 also, we have some different chromosome arrangement steps. So what is mitotic division? The production of offspring by sexual reproduction includes the fusion of two gametes. From our previous class, I think you have already remembered from the first slide only, we start our discussion that every organism starts their life from a single cell. So here is the steps which show us the process of producing of these single cell zygote. So the production of offspring by sexual reproduction includes the fusion of two cell. This fusion means two cell comes together and join with each other and forms two cell must that two cell must be a haploid cell. So two haploid cell when joined together, that process is called fusion. So that fusion of two gametes, each with a complete haploid set of chromosomes. So it's a haploid set of chromosome. Haploid means n number of chromosome. When two n number of chromosome containing cell fuse with each other, it produces a 2n number of cells. So this 2n number of cell is the diploid cells. So this is the diploid cells. So gametes are formed from the specialized diploid cells. The specialized kind of cell division that reduces the chromosome number by half results in the production of haploid daughter cells. This kind of division is called the meiosis division. So these gamete cells, these gamete cells are need to be produced. Until and unless these gamete cells are produced within a system, that system cannot go for the sexual reproduction process. So that gamete cell also formed from a diploid cell. That is a 2n number of cell. The 2n number of cell divides and produce n number of cells. That is a haploid cells. So when this kind of cell division, we call it a meiotic cell division. So what is the importance of meiosis? Meiosis ensures the production of haploid phase in the life cycle of sexually reproducing organism. So an organism, if that organism is a sexually reproducing organism, that meiosis ensures the production of the haploid phase. As we are human, we are our main life cycle is in a diploid condition, but within the diploid life cycle we have a certain haploid phase, and that haploid phase comes when we are mature enough to produce gamete. In case of male producing sperm and female producing the ovum, both are the haploid gametes. So we also have a haploid phase in our life. Now we come across meiosis during the gametogenesis in plants and animals. And this you have already studied in your secondary and higher secondary level. This leads to the formation of haploid gametes. So now, what are the key features of meiosis process? So meiosis involves two sequential cycles of nuclear and cell division called meiosis 1 and meiosis 2, but only a single cycle of DNA replication. As we are aware with the term of karyokinesis and cytokinesis. So in this particular case, we are getting two step of cell division, but in case of mitosis, before each division process, the chromosome need to get doubled. So that is why they are going through a DNA replication process. But in case of meiosis, the is cells are having only a single cycle of DNA replication. That means a particular cell that in our previous slide we already have discussed that the gametes are produced from a special kind of diploid cells. So if a diploid cell we consider 2n, after cell division, the 2n become 4n. And if meiosis involves two sequential cycles, so after first cycle, that 4n is divided into two 2n cell. This 2n then again divided into n, n is also divided with the n and n. So in this way, in this cell division process, so this is the replication part. Here the chromosome number is getting doubled, and after chromosome number is getting doubled, it is divided into two cell, two n cell, that two n cell again divided into 4n cell. So meiosis involves two sequential cycle of nuclear and cell division called the meiosis 1 and meiosis 2. Now, if question comes, how many karyokinesis occurs in meiosis process? The answer is 2. Two karyokinesis as well as two cytokinesis occurs in the meiosis cell division process. So meiosis 1 is initiated after the parental chromosome have replicated to produce identical sister chromatids at the S phase. So after that, meiosis involves pairing of homologous chromosomes and recombination between them. You will read the recombination part in your molecular biology classes, but the recombination mainly takes place in meiosis 1 step. And in meiosis 1, this recombination have an immense role. Each and every offspring must have a mixed characteristics from its parents, must get some mixed character from its parents. So a parent also have two different chromosome that comes from their parents. So a children is having a 25% chromosome or portion of probability. It's a probability. We will study probability part in genetics in our future classes. But in case of meiosis, this recombination ensures the mixing of the features within the parent chromosome. So, four haploid cells are formed ultimately at the end of the meiosis 2 cycle. So, these are different meiotic phases. So, meiosis 1 consists of prophase 1, metaphase 1, anaphase 1, and telophase 1. Accordingly, meiosis 2 also composed of prophase 2, metaphase 2, anaphase 2, and telophase 2. So this interphase, so this is the chromosome having the interphase to homologous chromosome pairing occurs in the meiosis 1, producing two different daughter cells, and these daughter cells are again divided by producing a daughter cell having a haploid number of chromosomes. You are able to see the total number of chromosomes here is 2n, and here is only one pair of this chromosome present. So this is the beauty of meiotic division, and that is why it is also known as reduction division, as because the chromosome number is getting reduced through this cell division process. So now we will start from the prophase 1 phase, because this is the most important phase of this meiotic cell division process. Rest of the phases, whatever the rest of the phases are, that are similar with the mitotic division, cell division. Only difference is the prophase 1 is really complex and elongated phase, and this is a typically longer and more complex when compared to prophase of mitosis. So prophase 1 is much more longer and much more complex when we compared it with the mitotic prophase 1 or the meiotic prophase 2. So the prophase 1 has been subdivided into the 5 different phases on the arrangement, that is based on the arrangement and based on the separation of the chromosomes. So these 5 different phases are leptotin, zygotin, pachytin, diplotin, and diakinesis. So these are the 5 different phases. We will discuss each and every phase, but these are the 5 different phases that we need to remember. So now let's see what is the importance of leptotin phase. So during leptotin stage, the chromosomes become gradually visible under the light microscope. The compaction of chromosome continues throughout the leptotin. So leptotin phase, leptotin is the first phase of mitotic division. So chromosomes become gradually visible under the light microscope. So you can easily visualize this chromosome under the light microscope, and the compaction of chromosome. We also know that chromosome compaction, that means the condensation of chromosome, is a part of cell division, and also it is a part of the prophase. So leptotin mainly deals with the chromosome condensation. So now this chromosome condensation is followed by the second stage of prophase 1, and we call it zygotin. During this stage, chromosomes start pairing together, and this process of association is called the synapsis. So what is called synapsis? That is the pairing of homologous chromosome. That because of this pairing, the chromosome need to come closer. This particular pairing is termed as the synapses. Such paired chromosomes are also called the homologous chromosome. Homologous chromosome means two chromosomes having same feature. So if we consider chromosome number 1, chromosome number 1, one chromosome number 1 comes from father, another chromosome number 1 comes from mother, but both are chromosome number 1. So during the process of meiotic cell division, in the phase and also in the phase of zygotin, these two chromosome number 1, which comes from mother and father, they come close together, and we call these two chromosomes as a homologous chromosome. So electron micrograph of this stage indicate that chromosome synapsis is accompanied by the formation of complex structure called synaptomial complex. As we have already decided, and I have already told you that I am only going to give you the basic idea what you have already studied. I am going to give you, we are going to recall that same thing. We are not going to dig deeper in this particular topic. The synapses is accompanied by the formation of complex structure which is called the synaptomial complex. The complex formed by a pair of synapsed homologous chromosome is called a bivalent or tetrad. That means if we consider this is one chromosome and this is another chromosome, and when they come close together by the process of producing synaptomial complex, these particular structure is called the tetrad structure. Fine. So the first two stages of prophase 1 are relatively short-lived compared to the next stage of the process, and we call that state is the Pachytene. During this stage, bivalent chromosomes now clearly appear as tetrad form. They are appear as tetrads. This stage is characterized by the appearance of recombination nodule. So recombination nodule forms. Recombination nodule means the starting point of recombination from where the so this is mentioned here. The site at which crossing over occurs between the non-sister chromatids of the homologous chromosome. If we go look back the previous slide, these two are the sister chromatids and these two are the non-sister chromatids. Okay, sorry, I just made it wrong. This is the sister chromatid, and these two are the non-sister chromatid. So that recombination always occur between the non-sister chromatid, not between the sister chromatid. They always occur between the non-sister chromatids. Fine. So here it is also written that the site at which crossing over occurs between the non-sister chromatids of the homologous recombination, that site we known as the recombination nodule. So after that, the beginning of diplotin is recognized by the dissolution of the synaptomial complex. So that means in diplotin phase, the synaptomial complex is getting dissolved, and the tendency of the recombined homologous chromosome of the bivalent to separate from each other except the site of crossing over. So that means it produces a X-shaped structure like this one. I'm trying to draw a structure of a homologous recombination process between the homologous chromosome. This is the site where the crossing over occurs between the chromosomes, between the homologous chromosomes, and it forms an X-shaped structure. It forms an X-shaped structure. Here it forms an X-shaped structure, and these X-shaped structures are called the chiasmata. This X-shaped structure is called the chiasmata. In oocytes of some vertebrates, diplotin can last for month or year. That means until and unless that cell is required, the diplotin can last for the month or years. So now we are going to discuss the final stage of the meiotic prophase 1, and that step is the diakinesis. So what is the meaning of diakinesis? This is marked by the terminalization of chiasmata. That means now again I am trying to draw a picture of this thing. That is, we have already This is the terminalization. That means the chromosome part are not present in a X-shaped manner. These association are now present in the terminal part of the chromosome. So that is why it is called the terminalization of chiasmata. During this phase, the chromosomes are fully condensed and the meiotic spindle is assembled to prepare the homologous chromosome for separation. So as these chromosomes are also associated with the spindle fibers, so that just after the completion of this prophase 1, metaphase, this chromosome can directly enter into the metaphase and are arranged into the metaphase plate. And after that, the beginning of the breaking of this portion, that is the centromere portion, occurs, and these chromosomes are getting separated. So by the end of diakinesis, the nucleolus disappear. This is the nucleolus. This nucleolus will disappear along with the complete disappearance of these membrane. This is the nuclear membrane. So this nuclear membrane will also get dissolved after the end of this diakinesis process. So what is the significance of meiosis? We need to understand that its significance. Meiosis is the mechanism by which conservation of specific chromosome number of each species is achieved across generation in sexually reproducing organism, even though the processes as say paradoxically result in the reduction of chromosome number by half. We need to reduce the chromosome number. If we are not able to reduce the chromosome number and a gamete is produced with the 2n chromosome, then if the association of two gametes of, of chromosome number 2n will produce a organism having the chromosome number 4n. So in this way, when this organism is again going for the division or reproduction process, the next organism will produce having the chromosome number of 18. So this is the not required thing. We don't require this increment in chromosome number. So here is the importance of meiosis. So through this meiosis cell division process, the organisms, the sexually reproducing organism, to be very specific, they are able to maintain their chromosome number throughout the generation. It also increases the genetic variability, and this genetic variability is because of the recombination process. Recombination is because of the process of recombination in the population of organism from one generation to the next. That is why we may look like we may have some similarity with our parents, but we also have several dissimilarities. So that is called the variation. So variations are very important for the process of evolution. So this meiosis cell division process can directly correlate with the process of evolution. So this is the end of our today's class, and in the next class, from the next class, we will start the discussion about Mendelian genetics. Goodbye.